What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everyone is healthy and well. Today, we'll be reacting to 5 signs you are raising your kids in Germany. Shout out to Antoinette Emily. Original video link will be down below in the description. Thank you so much to all my lovely German supporters for actually recommending this video. This is actually our second time checking out a video on her channel, and I'm excited, man.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In this video today, I am going to be sharing with you the 5 signs that you are raising your kids in Germany. As a New Zealander,
so I'm guessing number 1 is probably well, they're not helicopter parents. You let your kids climb about and do this and that, like.
you the 5 signs that you are raising your kids in Germany. As a New Zealander who is raising my 2 children in Germany, I have to say that becoming a mum has been the biggest culture shock that I have experienced so far in Germany. And although New Zealand and Germany share very similar core values when it comes to raising our children, we also have very different parenting styles. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this today. And I don't want to generalize too much because I know that not all German parents are going to be like this and not all New Zealand parents are going to be like this. But overall, this is what I have experienced in Germany. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get into it. One of the signs that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you are at a playground or a play group or play date and a German mother will tell your child that they do not have to share their toy with their child. And okay, I'm going to give you an example of this because this is something that happened to me the other day and this still always shocks me a little bit. My little boy Matteo, he's 2.5 and he's not very good at sharing right now. He's learning, but he's not the best. And we were at the playground, he brought along his favorite truck and a little boy came over straight away, grabbed Matteo's truck, he was crying. So my first reaction when I saw this little boy crying, like most New Zealanders, I said, Matteo, why don't you share your truck with this little boy, maybe you can play together. And then the little boy's mother, who had seen everything that went on, said to Matteo, no, you don't have to share your truck, that is your truck and you can decide whether you want to share it or not. I'm just always a little bit taken back when I see this reaction from German parents because this is not how this situation would be dealt with in New Zealand. And I've talked about this before in another video. I gave like an example with a little boy sharing his ball. It was a similar example and this just happens all the time in Germany. It's also happened, Matteo has gone over to kids and started playing with their toys and the mothers will jump in and say, no, that is my son's toy and he gets to decide if he wants to share it. Honestly, I get that.
Hey, respect. I respect it. I do respect it, guys.
I can understand why German parents do this and it makes total sense. It's just something that I am still trying to get used to. I've noticed that many German parents are very direct and very confident in their role as.
When I was a little kid, like a really little kid, I remember growing up, this is a kid I always used to play with. I went up to his mom and I always wanted a Power Ranger phone. You know how they had the little phones? I always used to try to make it out of paper and everything. Like recreate the phone out of plastic, mold it. I'm so serious. Like I was so creative as a kid trying to just execute that, man. And I just couldn't get it to the T. And he actually had the toy phone. And I didn't know that was a thing. Considering that I didn't have a phone, I didn't have social media. I didn't have like Google at that time, like at least on my fingertips yet, to be able to see that type of stuff that other kids were seeing. So here I am. I'm up in my room like I'm in prison. I'm sitting here trying to make it, craft it artistic way, thinking I'm the first to make it in the world. Kids already got it. I just want to play with it. I said, he just like he was being stingy. I'm like, I wasn't like that, man. So I asked his mom, can I play with his toy? He's not sharing his toy with me. It's okay. It's his toy. He doesn't have to share it with you. I just walked off. So imagine a little kid just walk off. I just walked off, bro. I was like, yeah, you got it. True. But that taught me as a kid, hey, I don't got to give you this if you no. If I don't want to share it, then no. I don't got to give you this toy. It's my choice. You're not going to come walk up and take it from me. You know what I'm saying? Gotta ask.
That many German parents are very direct and very confident in their role.
I did ask him. He was being mad stingy. So if the kid keeps saying no, Strac, why would you go to the mom? I guess that was on me.
as a parent. They're not afraid to tell you exactly what they think. And that can be kind of intimidating when you're a new mum, especially a new mum who is not from Germany. Another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you start to get overwhelmed with the amount of shoes and protective weather gear you need to buy for your kids. My little girl Amelia is in her last year of kindergarten, and this winter I think I had to buy her maybe 8 pairs of shoes. I'm not joking. And she is constantly growing. In Germany, they take kids' footwear very, very seriously, especially in winter time. So this year for winter in kindergarten, Amelia needed snow boots, gum boots, regular boots, shoes, house shoes, of course, sport shoes, and also they do sports inside when it's really cold, so she needed these kind of like gymnastics type shoes. So that was 7 pairs of shoes, and during that winter she grew out of a couple of pair of her shoes, so I think I had to buy like 9 pairs of shoes all up. It is serious business trying to keep up with the kids' shoe situation in Germany, and not only is it footwear, it is protective weather gear. Amelia needs a complete snowsuit and a complete rain suit, and she is constantly growing, so I'm just constantly having to buy her all of this gear. And in Germany, it's kind of like there's no excuse for bad weather. Kids need to have the gear to protect them from any type of weather, because in Germany it snows, it's rainy in winter, and you know, the kids still want to go out and play. In New Zealand, it's pretty different. I know we don't have this kind of extreme weather, but I feel like New Zealand kids, they can get away with wearing 1 pair of shoes for every single occasion, and we just don't really care, you know, we don't take it that seriously. Also, another thing, German parents only buy really good quality shoes for their kids, which I think is a really good thing. I also buy good quality shoes for my kids, but they can be really, really expensive. So it's a good thing that in Germany they have a lot of these children's clothing markets where you can get really good quality secondhand shoes for a really reasonable price.
What I'm hearing about German parents is that they go all out on their kids. That's all I'm hearing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, they make sure they're properly dressed and they're good throughout the season. You play sports, you gotta get shoes for this, that, that. Okay, cool. It is what it is. You know, this is what comes with having kids, you know? This is what comes with having kids. Hey, me myself, I'll be a proud parent taking my kid to go shoe shopping. What you want to go shoes? Come on, let's go get some. What type of shoes you want? What type? You want boots? The Lord knows a kid is no good for me because of how soft I would be in the heart for them. Like saying yes to everything, man. You need this first. Okay, okay, what's okay, okay, let's buy that. Mommy says no. Daddy gonna say yes.
Okay, so another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you can confidently breastfeed your baby wherever you want without getting looks of disapproval. I breastfed both of my kids in Germany, and I was able to do it anywhere and still feel comfortable. I would do it in cafes, I would do it on the street, you know, on a park bench. I would just breastfeed my kids anywhere. It didn't matter if my kids were hungry, I would feed them, and I would always do it quite discreetly. You'd never like see my boob flop out or anything. So I would, you know, I'd do it in a very discreet way, but I wouldn't care where I was. I would breastfeed, and I see a lot of German mums doing this. I remember there would be times in Germany in those early days where my baby would be like screaming with hunger, and I would just have to sit down on the side of the road, like on a bench, and feed my baby. I never once got a disapproving look or somebody that made me feel uncomfortable. I'd even get other German women kind of giving me a look of approval, you know, good on you for breastfeeding in public, that kind of thing.
Of course, you are nurturing your baby. What? Nobody better give you a look. And that goes for women. I mean, that goes for men too. No matter better give you no type of rude, nasty look or no type of like coming on to you look, cause you're weird, bro. She's nurturing her child, you weirdo. Get on with your life, weirdo, bozo. She obviously has a husband. She obviously has another man. Like, yeah, we got some creeps in this world. I'm sorry. I come from the US. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, she's feeding and taking any opportunity to see a woman because they can't get none. Oh, forgive me. I'm sorry for no. Forgive me, guys. But yes, nobody ever, yeah, nurturing a baby. I've seen this plenty of times as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult. It's normal. Completely normal, and I respect it. Worrying about that baby, you know, it's more so not thinking about yourself, not caring about yourself, It's more so I think of it as like a mother putting your dignity, your pride to the side because what woman on a regular is going to just pop that out in public on a regular? You know what I'm saying? You're more so worried about that baby, nurturing, feeding that baby, taking care of it on the spot. Nobody, you don't worry about nobody else.
I remember being in New Zealand with Amelia when she was 6 months old, and I just presumed it was going to be exactly the same in New Zealand as far as breastfeeding and pro breastfeeding, but it actually wasn't. And I remember getting some really disapproving looks for breastfeeding Amelia in public. I just really appreciate the fact that Germany is so pro breastfeeding. It is the most natural way to feed your baby, and it shouldn't be something that is frowned upon, or women shouldn't have to go and hide to feed their baby. Okay, so another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you are at a playground and you see a child doing something that you would consider extremely dangerous, like almost life-threatening, and then the other German mums around are not fazed in the slightest about it. They're barely even watching. And honestly, this was one of the hardest things for me to kind of get used to. I've talked about this in other videos. I have to bring it up again because I believe that this is a huge cultural difference between parenting in New Zealand and parenting in Germany. German parents, they let their children take risks and experiment and explore, and by doing this, I have noticed that German kids have very, very good gross motor skills at a very, very young age. This definitely has a lot to do with the German parenting style of letting their children take risks. So I'm going to give you an example. Close to where we live, there is a playground with a really, really high fence made of cobblestone, and the kids like to climb up on this fence. They can kind of put their feet through the little gaps in the cobblestone, and they climb up and they like to walk around the fence which goes around the entire playground. This is a very high fence, and I would consider this to be very dangerous. Like if a child lost balance, they could really hurt themselves falling down. Except the kids in my neighborhood do it all the time. They walk around this fence. My little girl Amelia, she's 6, and she saw some of her friends climbing up on this fence and walking around, and she wanted to do the same, except I was the only mum that totally freaked out and said, Amelia, you can't do this. Amelia was really upset that she was the only kid that wasn't allowed to walk around this really high fence, and the other German mums were just kind of like, oh, it's fine, it's not that dangerous, and just she'll be fine. And so I reluctantly let Amelia climb up and walk around this fence, but in my heart I was like, okay, this is so dangerous. I don't know whether I should be letting her do this. And then I was kind of questioning myself. I was like, am I crazy letting her do this, or am I crazy for not letting her do this? Because there's a group of German mothers here who are all not in the slightest bit worried about their children doing this. I'm the only one that's panicking about this, and so I reluctantly let Amelia do it, and she was absolutely fine. She didn't fall off, and she wasn't like running along the fence. She was walking like slowly around. But still, I didn't feel comfortable about it, and I don't know whether I should have let her. It was a tough kind of situation to be in because, Amelia was going to be the odd one out, and she really wanted to do it. So I don't know where to draw the line when it comes to this kind of thing. Okay.
Hey, you know what I noticed? Eventually, like as parents, you gotta let them do stuff. You can't be so controlling and just protecting them all the time because they're gonna get boo-boos eventually. And we don't know how they're gonna react if you babysit them their whole life. So I was like, man, let them go up, have fun. What's the worst that could happen? You can still be there by their side to support them. You don't have to be 10 miles away looking at them from a distance. You can still be like, go ahead, but still be in like in the distance, still kind of be there just in case like the catch and stuff like that. Still be there, protect the type of protecting parent you are. I can't tell you not to protect your child. But listen, if they grow older or even as like toddlers, they want to play sports and stuff, this is how they strengthen. This is how they boost that agility. This is how they better their agility. This is how they become more agile, more athletic as kids, playing, getting boo-boos, more tough, knowing how to take the pain. This is a cruel world, man. Regardless of where you growing up. It's a cruel world coming from a kid. Like as a kid versus adult, it's a cruel world, The world not gonna treat you the same. So just little things like that as a kid, it'll toughen you up because you never know what you'll go through as like a human being. You never know. Now I'm not saying, hey, go skydiving, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's just like things you have control over. Okay, you want to go on a swing set, you want to go climb up the little rock the little rock playground set. It's like a rock climbing thing. Okay, go ahead. But you can still stand there and kind of just be there for the support. But at least they know next time, okay, I got to be more careful. And if they do get hurt, they know to be more careful or to just simply not do it again. Let them make that decision up, you know? But don't raise them to be scared because then they're going to grow up and be scared of everything. Like, can you go just hurry up and climb it? Oh, it's too high. Oh, gosh. I'm seeing like German toddlers and stuff and like Norwegian toddlers climbing high trees and stuff out there in kindergarten. I'm like, what?
So another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you go to a swimming pool. Another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you go to a swimming pool, like a public swimming pool or a lake, and you see mothers everywhere in all shapes and sizes strutting around in their bikinis and swimsuits. So they could be 8 months pregnant with this huge big belly chasing around after their toddler, and they don't care. They're just like, I want to have fun with my kids. I don't care that I'm 8 months pregnant. Not only will you see a lot of pregnant women in swimsuits, you'll also see a lot of women postpartum in swimsuits. So maybe they've given birth like 2 weeks ago and they've got their tiny little baby under their arm, and they do not care that they have stretch marks and that they haven't lost their baby weight. I just think this body positivity.
Hey, I don't care what nobody say. Stretch marks is beautiful. What? Where all my men at? Where all my women who agree? Stretch marks is beautiful. Yeah, I don't care if you had a baby or not. I don't care if you gain weight, if you lose weight. I don't care. I don't care how you got stretch marks. Stretch marks is fire. Like, stretch marks is beautiful.
Is so awesome in Germany, because I think a lot of parents in other countries would refuse to get in a swimsuit if they didn't look perfect, if you know what I mean. Like, if they had stretch marks, or if they were carrying a bit of extra baby weight, they would hide away rather than just get in there and play with their kids and make memories and have fun with their kids. When I was pregnant with my little girl Amelia, I would never ever have gone out in public and showed my big pregnant belly off in a bikini. And I totally changed my mindset when I was pregnant with Mateo, my son. I would take Amelia to the lake, the river, the pool, and I would see all these other mums, having fun with their kids, splashing around in the water, getting in there with their kids and enjoying themselves. And I was the odd one out. And then I was like, hey, I want to do that too. So I reluctantly put on my swimsuit with my huge big pregnant belly sticking out, and I got in that water and had fun with my little girl. No one looked at me weirdly, no one cared, and I was able to just get in there and make memories with my little girl without worrying about how I looked. So anyway, guys, those were the 5 signs that you are raising your kids in Germany. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it amusing. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.
Another fabulous video, man. Thank you so much, everyone, for recommending this video. If you actually want to include some stuff on top of this amazing video we reacted to today, feel free to go ahead and put it in the comment section. Share your honest thoughts and opinions on this video, on this topic. Feel free to check out my Twitch and other YouTube channels in the description down below, guys. Thank you so much once again for joining me today to check out 5 signs you are raising your kids in Germany, man. Thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining me, especially all my new supporters. I love you all, and I hope you all enjoyed this video today. Seriously, man. How are you guys raising your kids? Let me know in the comments. Let me know that. How are you raising your kids? Are you a helicopter parent? Be honest. Or, are you one of those more lenient parents that's like, just go do it? I was raised by both. So imagine that battle. No, yes, no, yes. It gets to a point where you're a kid, you smart, and you just know who to ask. Stay safe, everyone. I hope to catch you all in the next one.